I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in there and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? I'm like, no. Just go ahead and put it out there. What I was wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia. Your love instinct didn't kick in. They said we had to do a C-section. Guess what? You refused. You didn't want to mess up your little tattoo. Or you didn't want to get cut, right? Oh, all right. Where your mama instincts was at then? Because you sent through that infected canal, right? You did. You did that. So, don't do that. When I encourage you, I keep asking you, leave me alone. You want to play with my children now, right? You play with my children. Talking about my grandbaby, like... And you know what's crazy? We will never talk about Chrisean because he's special and we really love him. But yo, you are foul. You are foul and disgusting.
Imagine being a parent under a microscope. Every move, every decision, judged by millions online. Now, what if your newborn might be facing serious health challenges and everyone around you is pointing fingers? That's exactly what's happening with Blueface, his ex, and their son Junior. From allegations about missed medical appointments to concerns about developmental delays, the drama isn't just online, it's real life. And now, a new figure is stepping in, claiming to notice the same worrying signs. But here's the question: who's really looking out for Junior? And who's just adding fuel to the fire? Stick around, because what we've uncovered will shock you, and you won't believe what's going on behind the cameras. Remember when Taryn, Chrisean Rock's sister, started dropping hints about JR's possible health issues? She was actually there when the child was born and had the green light to overhear Rock's medical discussions. According to her account, Cron was dealing with chlamydia and, surprisingly, declined a C-section despite the circumstances.
Oh, we got the last one. Say what's up to baby brother.
Wait, which game?
Say hi, baby brother.
Man.
Baby brother.
Baby brother.
Yeah. Say what's up, big brother. We getting all the way together, man. We know what's up, man.
If you didn't know, giving birth while carrying an STD can put a newborn at serious risk. Blindness and a host of lifelong complications aren't uncommon. That's why Taryn went off on her sister, accusing her of knowingly putting the baby in danger. Taryn, who was responsible for helping care for Junior, admitted she didn't even know how to handle him properly under the circumstances. Now, word is that Blueface's new girlfriend, Hazel, seems to be backing up these claims, allegedly, especially after clips surfaced of Junior that left fans speculating something might be wrong. The bigger picture, though, shows a different side of things. As soon as Blueface got out of prison, he made a beeline for his kids. He even shared a video of himself in the studio with Junior alongside Chrisean. Hun, meanwhile, brushed off online negativity, urging people to relax. To her, seeing Blueface actively involved in his son's life was nothing short of an answered prayer. She explained that after 2 years of ups and downs, they had finally figured out how to co-parent. Blueface was still her baby daddy and her best friend, and by all accounts, things between them were far healthier. Both made it clear they weren't trying to control each other's love lives, a level of maturity neither had really displayed before. For her, the priority was simple: ensuring her son had the best possible life, which meant making it easy for Blueface to be a present, loving father. The clips Blueface shared reflected that dedication. Tender moments with Junior and his younger sibling, Chrisean Jr., showed milestones like the 2-year-old standing in his playpen while his dad proudly watched. Fans also witnessed emotional reunions with the children he shares with Jade and Alexis, hugs, smiles, and that unmistakable warmth of family finally reconnecting after a long separation. With Junior, people said it was the first time they saw the baby calm, relaxed, and clearly loved, a stark contrast to the chaos that seemed to follow him under Crocker's care. While fans were heartened by these glimpses of affection, those same clips fueled speculation, leaving many wondering if something deeper was going on with the little boy. So here's the gist. People have been saying that when Blueface went to prison, Junior was still a newborn, and now, 2 years later, he still struggles with basic milestones like sitting up on his own. Fans also note that he often stares blankly into space. And now, Hazel, allegedly stepping into the new stepmom role, has reportedly observed some of the same concerns about Junior. Meanwhile, Blueface has been spotted at Meme House Productions in Los Angeles, sharing playful moments with Hazel. In one clip Hazel posted, she called him king, and he joked that he looked better standing next to her. Their flirtatious energy immediately had fans speculating about a possible romance. Sources say the two have been reconnecting since his release, though their connection dates back years. They've apparently kept in touch intermittently since 2018. Now that Blueface is back home, they are exploring the possibility of something more, and reports suggest they are casually dating, with more flirty clips surfacing beyond the club scene. Of course, the optics are tricky. Hazel commenting on Junior could be controversial, but she wouldn't be the first to raise concerns. Since Junior's birth in September 2023, fans have speculated that he may have developmental or health issues. Blueface himself claimed that Chrisean smoked and drank during pregnancy, and there have been multiple instances of her partying while expecting. Fans immediately began comparing Junior's physical features to signs of fetal alcohol syndrome: small, folded eyes, a dropped nose, open mouth, and unusually large, low-set ears. Some also noted that the way Junior cried resembled symptoms associated with Creditor syndrome, though high-pitched crying can also indicate alcohol withdrawal in newborns. At the time, Rock insisted the baby was healthy, saying the hospital would have informed them of any issues, and defended her privacy, noting that an unflattering photo doesn't justify public speculation. Still, over the months that followed, fans and observers became increasingly vocal about what they perceived as Junior's developmental delays. From milestones like sitting up, responding to stimuli, or engaging with his surroundings, many pointed out that the child seemed behind compared to typical toddlers his age. Social media users analyzed videos and photos closely, comparing Junior's movements and behaviors to standard developmental markers, and the consensus among many was that something appeared off. Observers argued that if Junior were attending regular checkups, his mother, Rock, would likely have been informed of any medical concerns by pediatricians. The lack of visible intervention or updates, in the eyes of fans, became another red flag, fueling speculation about whether Junior was receiving proper care. The scrutiny didn't stop at developmental concerns. Public criticism also extended to Crocker's day-to-day handling of Junior. One viral video from a Walmart trip drew significant attention. Junior was seen in a stroller, head unsupported, while Croc walked her dog on a leash. The clip sparked outrage among followers who highlighted the safety risks of leaving a toddler's neck unsupported, particularly in public spaces. Many suggested that Croc appeared distracted or preoccupied, raising questions about her attentiveness and whether she was fully aware of her child's immediate needs. For parents and concerned viewers alike, it was a moment that amplified fears about potential neglect, making social media a stage for heated debates over what constitutes proper care for Junior. Adding to the complexity of the situation, Blueface's return and active involvement introduced a new dynamic. Fans noted his immediate interest in the child's well-being, sharing videos of him interacting tenderly with Junior, attending appointments, and even questioning missed medical visits. Hazel's presence, alleged to be in a stepmom-like role, further complicated perceptions. While some viewed her involvement as supportive, others interpreted it as interference, illustrating the difficulty of separating concern from criticism in a high-profile parenting situation. In short, Junior's care has become a focal point for public discussion. Observers are weighing developmental concerns against everyday parenting practices, considering how multiple adults, Croc, Blueface, Hazel, and even extended family, impact his life. While some fans remain hopeful that Blueface's involvement in Hazel's attention could bring positive change, others continue to raise alarms about neglect, inconsistency, and the child's long-term well-being. The situation is a reminder that parenting, especially under the public eye, is rarely straightforward, and that attentive, informed care for a child's growth and safety is scrutinized from every angle. So here's the latest. Croc was even caught walking her dog on a leash inside a store while caring for her baby, and people were not here for it. Blueface didn't hold back either. He fired off a post on X that left fans raising their eyebrows. Even his mom, Carissa, joined the fray, blasting Croc for what she saw as negligent parenting. She said something along the lines of, "Got my baby in the grocery store with the __, folded over, doing backbends like he's already in gymnastics. I don't like none of them. Kylie's first baby daddy, her husband, none of them could even lift more than me. Why are my kids out here with these weirdos?" Blueface himself weighed in on the situation, claiming that Chrisean Jr. was having health problems and accusing Croc of being unfit. He alleged she had delayed surgery for their newborn son's hernia and missed hospital appointments, putting his health at risk. This wasn't the first time he had voiced concerns. He had even threatened custody if Croc didn't make their son's well-being a top priority. In his words, "If she doesn't take my son serious and make that her main focus and priority for at least 30 days, I will file for custody. You've been warned." He expressed frustration that Croc seemed indifferent to Junior's suffering, writing that his son is hurting every day, yet she responds with, "IDC," seemingly unconcerned. In another tweet about a missed surgery appointment, he recalled, "I only went to be more for the surgery, but when we got there, they said, 'You missed the appointment. It was 2 days ago. The doctors are busy now.'" We have to reschedule. At that moment, I knew she wasn't really up for the challenge. Fans also pointed to a video of Croc at a restaurant with Junior, noting that the baby didn't blink once during the footage. Despite her insistence that he was fine, people continued to highlight his developmental delays, arguing that if she had been taking him to doctors on schedule, she would have been alerted to any issues. Adding fuel to the fire, Blue's mother, Carissa, has been vocal about her concerns. In an Instagram live that immediately caught the attention of fans and followers, Blueface mother, Carissa, raised what she described as serious concerns about Junior's health. She suggested that the young boy might have a neurological issue and reminded viewers that everyone in the family was aware of Rock's drinking during her pregnancy. In her words, "We know we could see something going on. His daddy sees something going on. We know what comes with this. We ain't stupid and we ain't going to play stupid." The statement was met with a mixture of reactions, some sympathetic, some critical. But it underscored a point many have been discussing quietly for months, that there could be genuine developmental concerns for the child. Carissa's comments were significant because they came from someone who has seen the family dynamic firsthand and who has publicly voiced concerns about the child's well-being before. She didn't mince words, and her insistence that both she and Blueface had noticed potential issues lent weight to what might otherwise have been dismissed as idle speculation. Now, add Hazel to the mix, allegedly stepping into a stepmom or supportive figure role, and suddenly the story has another layer. Hazel, who has been spotted spending time with Blueface and his children since his release from prison, has reportedly made her own observations about Junior, echoing some of the concerns previously raised by Carissa. From an outsider's perspective, this could easily be interpreted as meddling or overstepping, but context is key. Hazel is now intimately involved in the household and in the lives of the children. Naturally, someone in her position would be paying close attention to their well-being. If she sees something concerning, bringing it up, albeit publicly, is arguably an extension of her role in supporting the family, not necessarily an attempt to stir drama. Fans have been closely watching every clip, post, and story involving Hazel, interpreting her actions through multiple lenses. Some see her as a caring figure who is noticing issues that may have been overlooked or minimized. Others are more cynical, questioning whether her involvement is genuine concern or a way to assert influence in Blueface's life. The truth is probably somewhere in between. Hazel is invested in Blueface, and by extension, his children, so naturally her observations will carry a weight that they might not otherwise. Meanwhile, the spotlight on Croc has intensified. From the public's perspective, she is the primary caretaker of Junior, and the responsibility for his health and developmental milestones ultimately rests on her shoulders. Fans have dissected every clip and video, noting things like how Junior holds himself, how he interacts with his environment, and even subtle behaviors such as the frequency of blinking or the way he sits and moves. In this context, Hazel's comments, or her perceived role in observing the child, have added fuel to an already heated discussion. But it's also worth noting the complexity of this situation. We're talking about a child who has been raised in a very public environment, with fans, media, and social media constantly weighing in. Every action by the parents, or anyone involved with the child, is scrutinized, amplified, and interpreted through a lens of speculation. Hazel's involvement, therefore, isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a larger ecosystem where public perception, parental responsibility, and the child's actual needs are constantly intersecting. Adding to this dynamic, Blueface has a vested interest in Junior's well-being. He has publicly expressed concern over missed medical appointments, delayed surgeries, and what he perceives as lapses in care. His outspokenness, combined with Carissa's observations and now Hazel's alleged commentary, creates a triangulated narrative. Multiple adults involved in the child's life are raising concerns from different angles. This may seem chaotic or even messy to outsiders, but from a developmental standpoint, it reflects the reality of trying to advocate for a child in a complicated family situation. From a child welfare perspective, the key question isn't who is overstepping boundaries, it's whether Junior is receiving the care, attention, and medical oversight he needs. If Hazel's observations are accurate, her speaking up could be a crucial layer of advocacy for the child. Developmental delays and neurological issues require early detection and consistent intervention. The more adults in Junior's life who are paying attention, the greater the likelihood that any potential issues are addressed promptly. At the same time, there's an undeniable tension in the public's perception. Social media users have their own opinions about Hazel's motives, Croc's parenting, and the role Blueface plays in all of this. These discussions are fueled by clips, social media posts, and hearsay, which makes it challenging to separate genuine concern from rumor or speculation. Yet, the fact that multiple individuals, Carissa, Blueface, and Hazel are all observing and commenting on the same behaviors gives the story a sense of consistency that cannot be entirely ignored. The focus, however, must remain on Junior. The controversy surrounding the parents and the adults in his life should not overshadow the child's needs. What's at stake is ensuring that he grows up in a safe, nurturing environment with attentive caregivers who prioritize his health and development. Hazel's involvement, whether seen as supportive or intrusive, may ultimately serve a positive purpose if it encourages additional vigilance and advocacy for Junior's care. In the meantime, fans and observers are left watching, analyzing, and debating. They are waiting to see how Croc will respond to both the criticism and the concern from those around her. Will she acknowledge potential developmental issues? Will she adjust her approach to Junior's care? Or will she continue to insist that everything is fine? These are questions that dominate the conversation on social media, where the stakes are high and emotions run strong. Ultimately, the situation highlights the complexity of modern parenting under the glare of public scrutiny. It's not just about one parent or one caregiver. It's about the ecosystem of adults around a child, each contributing observations, opinions, and interventions. Hazel's role, controversial or not, may be a reflection of a broader network of concern and care for Junior. And while outsiders might view it as messy, from the perspective of child welfare, every attentive eye counts. So, as fans continue to watch Hazel, Croc, and Blueface navigate this situation, one thing remains clear. Junior's well-being is at the center of all the debate. Whether Hazel's involvement is ultimately seen as helpful or intrusive, it underscores an important reality. Children's health and development often require multiple advocates, and in a situation as complicated and public as this, it's not surprising that every adult involved is keeping a close watch. The conversation continues, and all eyes remain on Croc to see how she will respond, while the public waits to see if Junior will receive the attention and care he truly deserves.